Welcome back. I'm joined in the studio by Dave Rastovich, who has just completed this weekend a 350-kilometre paddle from Taranaki up to Piha in support of Maui's Dolphins and KASM. I thought that you would be curled up on a beach, passed out right now.
Actually, the beach is kind of the last place I want to be right now, so this is good. It's nice and cozy.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you're one to, do what you can to raise awareness for many causes, and I want to know, how did this idea for this journey come about? Because it's pretty epic.
Well, I think it's sometimes difficult to engage people in environmental issues because it's usually kind of presented in a dry way, and our group, Surfers for Cetaceans, has for many years now come up with adventurous campaigns where people might take an interest in an issue because there's a story attached to it. So the story of this one is the adventure of paddling up this coastline. Yeah. And also doing it in a way where it's slow, so we get to meet with a lot of people. And this coastline is filled with amazing people who, are down the beach fishing, they're surfing, they're diving, they're living in that place in a really engaged way. So we wanted to make sure we had enough time to meet them. And
my auntie was watching some YouTube videos and she couldn't believe that people actually even surf the waves that you do. How does this compare to anything else that you've done this particular journey?
Well, this water here on this west coast is intense.
They don't call it the Wild West.
No, it's crazy, and I've had the good fortune of surfing in some of the heaviest waves in the world, from Tahiti to Hawaii to Tasmania, and this totally compares to all of those places in the way that you have the most intense currents, you have incredibly strong winds and ceaseless swell. It's always coming in, and so for me, I really wanted to experience that in that level where I would almost get the perspective of a Maui's dolphin and see how vulnerable they are out there in that wild surf, and then realise that humans just don't belong out there. We just don't belong along that coast.
Did you feel like you belonged at any point, or were you just completely fish out of water?
There was a couple times where I definitely felt like I should have stayed on land, but that was the adventure of it, and I hurt myself early in the trip, and we managed to incorporate the rest of our group to do a bit of a relay for a couple of days so I could heal up. And then local surfers from Waitara, just north of New Plymouth, came and paddled with us, and that was a really great evolution of the trip, just include more people. So.
And you are raising awareness for Maui's Dolphins and KASM. Why is it important for you to see people get passionate about something like this?
Well, it's the future of this place and the history. It's such an incredible coastline you have here, and Phil, who is one of the leaders of the KASM group, Kiwis Against Seabed Mining, has said, when you go to the beach, you don't look at it as a resource. You don't look down at the sand and go, gee, I wonder what I can do with that. You go to the beach and you marvel at the ocean, and you marvel at the beach and the wildness of this place. And people all over the world do that in regards to New Zealand. So I think if you were to take the industrial nature of modern people out into the ocean and change it from a wild place into this place that we just pull from all the time, be it fisheries or oil or sand, it's just going to change the dynamic of New Zealand as a whole, and I think that's a dangerous game to play.
And you actually were joined by 8 Maui's dolphins on the journey?
That's a good number of their whole population too.
So, that's less than 100, far less than 100.
There's only 55
like 50,
of them. Yeah, 55.
I mean, because where I grew up, there were a few around there, and then now nothing. Like, for you to be able to have 8 of them go with you, I mean, that would have been pretty cool.
And they surf, they really surf. And the day that they came to where I was just south of the Manukau Inlet, which is a pretty scary body of water. And so I'd been paddling for 4 hours or so, and then they just popped up all around me, and we surfed together and paddled together, and they're just incredible. To come to me and still kind of trust humans after all that we've done to them was really humbling, and I was just apologetic. I just kept saying, sorry, I'm so sorry for what we've done to you.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome what you've done, and for people out there that want to keep up to date with what you're up to, is there a website they can visit?
KASM is the best place to go, just kasm.org.nz, and you'd really need to join up with that group so that when the application is put in to mine the seafloor out here, you'll be alerted by KASM, and you can put a submission in to say no and have your voice be heard. And really, that's it. At the end of the day, it's that's what it's all about.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. High five for your efforts.
Oh,
sweet. It must hurt. It must hurt. All right. Thank you again.
Cheers.
Right now, it's the Rubens, my gun.